Before we begin, this podcast is proudly brought to you by DubaiView, your boutique luxury real estate partner. We deliberately keep our family of clients small because we believe in building relationships, not just closing deals. If you are looking for your dream home in Palm Jumeirah, Emirates Hills or Dubai Hills Estate, we should talk. Head to our website for a free consultation. Let's find your perfect Dubai home together. Now, back to our conversation. Welcome back to another DubaiView episode. This week joined by the most respected voice in the Dubai real estate game, Lynette Sacchetto. Thank you so much for having you here.
Thank you, Mario, so much for having me.
Yes, so we start straight away with the first question. Lynette, you're over 2 decades in the market.
Yes.
What gave you the motivation and inspiration to enter the Dubai real estate market?
So I would have to say it's my passion for real estate. So I have 2 passions, real estate and technology. I visited Dubai in 2005. I had friends from the States that were invited by Nakheel to look at villas and actually also at the World Islands. And they asked me to accompany them to advise them. So I arrived in 2005. We stayed at the Burj Al Arab. It was just built, I believe, at that point. And I was fascinated, blown away. So many words I can use about what I saw in Dubai at that time, all the cranes that were in the sky. The palm was dirt, sand. It was just coming to fruition. And I absolutely fell in love with what I saw. I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And also the opportunity. Everything was so raw here in Dubai when it came to real estate and my other passion, technology, with real estate technology. So I decided right then and there, when I left Dubai on that trip, that I was coming back shortly. And I did in 2006, which is when I moved.
Wow, amazing. So from my information, you moved from LA, Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
From
yes.
Las Vegas to Dubai.
Yes.
So in the last 10 years, everyone, especially we from Germany, everyone was talking about the American dream. So why someone who had the American dream and lived in America decided to move to Dubai?
So I very much was part of that American dream and how I grew up. So I grew up in a very socially and economically depressed neighborhood. My mother has a 2nd grade education. She was a maid, she was a cook, and she had many odd jobs to support us. So I very much grew with that American dream and thrived. I had a very good education. I had scholarships. I started my first technology consulting firm when I was 18 while I was in university. So I had all those opportunities of the American dream and I took advantage of every single one of them. Now, when I came to Dubai, and I've always been a natural hustler. It's just been part of how I grew up. And when I came to Dubai, when I said earlier, I saw how raw it was. There was so much opportunity. It was like I was sitting and someone was pouring a water of opportunity in front of me, and you're just trying to figure out which direction, what you want to do, how you want to do it. And it was very overwhelming, but also at that point, I was much younger than what I am today. And I just wanted to attack it and embrace it and just come here and be part of that pioneering efforts, which I knew existed at that point here in Dubai. So yes, very much part of the American dream, very much took advantage of it growing up, which is where I got to where I did when I left the U.S., but I saw the Dubai dream. Yeah. And I know people are talking about the Dubai dream today. I saw it 20 years ago. Yeah. So
amazing. So normally your real name is Lynette, but the people here calling you the data queen.
The data queen of Dubai, yeah.
Yes. So going back there, where did you find the passion for data, technology, prop tech, how you got the vision saying that's my passion and I want to enter in that game?
So technology, like I said earlier, my 2 passions are real estate and technology, and they both started when I was very young, since I can remember, age 7. And when I moved to Las Vegas, I focused more on the real estate side. So I decided to get my broker license. I was buying and selling property, fixing them up, flipping, doing a bunch of stuff within the real estate space. And there was a lot of opportunity for technology at that point in the States. Facebook was just coming out. There was no Instagram. There was real estate companies didn't have websites. So there was a lot of opportunity to integrate technology into real estate for lead generation.
Yeah.
Then when I came to Dubai, I realized that there was no data here. And I came from an environment in the US where we had the MLS, the multiple listing service. We had Zillow at that point. We had Trulia, where there was a lot of really good data points for the consumers when they were doing their property research. When I arrived here, there was zero data. The brokerages weren't using their own data. They had no idea how. Dubai Land Department hadn't released their data, and there was no data platform. So when I was looking for real estate as a consumer, I was relying on the agent, on their opinion and their information, which they really didn't have none because they didn't even use their own internal brokerage data. So at this point, I realized, okay, we need to bring data to Dubai, real estate data to Dubai. It falls into my passion of technology as well as real estate. And that's when I went directly to Dubai Land Department. They are the source of truth. They hold the actual records of transactions.
Absolutely.
This was for sales because this was before Ijari came out.
Yep.
Ijari came out in 2012, I believe. So I went to Dubai Land Department, worked with them for many, many, many years, convincing them to let me utilize the data for reports. That's how it first started. And then at that point, they were releasing a little bit data on their website. And then in 2016, I put a team together and we built Property Monitor. And this was at the real estate consultancy that owned Property Monitor at that time. They just recently sold.
I guess the Bissell bought it, right?
Yes, yeah. So at that point, 2016, we built Property Monitor utilizing the various different data points from the consultancy as well as from the open data that the land department had at that time. That was the first B2B real estate data tool that was really readily available in the market. And our focus at that time, and it remained the focus of Property Monitor to this day, was to focus on the brokers. So make it very simple, streamlined so that the brokers can easily go in, get the data that they need very quickly.
Amazing.
So that's how the data story started.
Amazing. And how was the journey with the Dubai Land Department? Was it easy to get and build the trust? Because I guess you are now the ambassador, right? Or you are very close to the Dubai Land Department.
Yes. Yeah. So now I am.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been working with them now for the last 15 years. To be honest with you, it wasn't difficult. I was never met with them closing the door. The doors were always open. It was just for me to understand the mindset of the government. All the governments are different around the world, and the mindset of how business is done here. So I originally just went to the land department, sat at the various different offices, started talking to individuals, started to make acquaintances with individuals that then helped me get to the next office that I needed to go to. And that took a good, I would say, a year of building relationships at the land department.
Wow.
And at this point, it was when I was at Property Monitor that I was very actively doing this. Then I built a relationship with Dubai Land Department. We did a couple of joint reports with them. I was very much active in the press at that time, on all the newspapers, on the radio, talking about data, the market, where the market was going, and using this data and showing everyone how the data can be used in the market from both a B2B and a B2C perspective. Then from Property Monitor, I moved to Property Finder. At Property Finder, at this point, my relationship with Dubai Land Department was very good. And we did a lot of initiatives between Dubai Land Department, JLL, and at that point, it was with Property Finder. And this is when they agreed to do the first official house price index for the city of Dubai with Property Finder. And we released Muasher in 2018. And ever since then, I've been working with the land department, various different partnerships. I was part of the Open Data API, part of the blockchain initiative with Smart Dubai. And I also work with Abu Dhabi currently, as well as RAC.
Oh, yes.
Governments.
Abu Dhabi is becoming as well very interesting.
Yes,
currently in the
very
moment.
interesting things are happening there.
Amazing. Yes, because I'm asking because I see it as well by myself currently with the platform, what we are doing. sometimes you're facing someone who is as well in the market or is the CEO of a development. And the understanding, if you are not in prop, so let's say, or in technology, that they understand, okay, which benefit is giving me such platform, it's very hard to explain them, and as well to tell them how easy normally it is to connect the API between one CRM system to another CRM system. Because if you're looking, and I guess this is nice, interesting, because you were starting as well as a realtor, and myself as well, this was my journey, and I just saw the mistakes and the problems what I'm facing as a realtor, and how you can do it better and solve that problems. And every ways are going into PropTech, and then you're getting the understanding. But to explain the people here in Dubai still which benefits they have, I face quite hard difficulties. There are many who are more in the entrepreneurship. They say, wow, nice. Normally I don't need more the CRM team because I'm saving the money. And the other one, okay, but which benefits have for me? And then to explain them which type of benefits it have, then they get slowly to it, because now currently we're surviving, let's say, with international clients. But what I saw, and the lot of questions was the standard questions: how I get my residence card, when I get the golden visa, is there a golden visa, is there existing, where family areas? So there are no resources on Google to find resources about the questions for an expat to get the information before moving to Dubai. And it was a funny part. What I saw the most Googled questions about Dubai is camel riding or camel horse riding. So it's crazy. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't
So
know that.
it was not an easy journey.
Quick break to share some exciting news from DubaiView. Our boutique approach means we get exclusive first access to some of the Dubai's most remarkable properties. Just this month, we've added stunning new listings that aren't available anywhere else. Want to be first to know about these hidden gems? Visit our website for private consultation. Now, back to our conversation.
Coming back now to you, you are the founder of RealTrust. So how RealTrust exists and how the Dubai market is benefiting of RealTrust.
So RealTrust is a digital escrow platform that we built from scratch. It's an idea that has been on my mind for over a decade. So while I was working with the government on the various data initiatives, I was always part of various different boards and think tanks. And title and escrow, as we call it in the States, kept on coming up, especially for the secondary market. If you are an investor, foreign investor, and you don't have a bank account here in the UAE, and you're buying property or selling property, you don't have many options. You don't really have an easy way of transacting for that property because you need a manager's check, which you cannot produce because you don't have a bank account. And the whole escrow, or what I call title and escrow process, or the transaction management process, is very fragmented and it needed to be digitized. So when I finished all my data initiatives and decided what was my next chapter in PropTech, I decided to start RealTrust, which is a PropTech and a FinTech. We accommodate, like I said, the foreign investors who don't have bank accounts here in the UAE. That is our client base. If you look at the statistics, actually last week I just got this one from Dubai Land Department. Of the investors here in Dubai today, 40% are non-residents. That's our target market. That's the market that we're trying to help. Now, it's very important for me, and this is the philosophy that I always followed in my journey, whether it was the States or here in Dubai, is when you find the pain points and gaps, you need to figure out how you can fix it, service the entity that you're trying to help. In this case, it's consumers, and how you can help and benefit the Dubai real estate market. This is what I did with my data initiatives when I went to the government. How can I help you, government? And at that point, it was for, they wanted to increase their transparency level on the JLO Global Real Estate Index, which is what we did with Mwasher. We increased it by 4 levels, and they became semi-transparent. Today, they are transparent. That's how I was able to help the Dubai Land Department with their KPIs and their initiatives with what I was trying to accomplish in the market. With RealTrust is the same thing. I'm trying to help foreign investors to safely, securely, and transparently bring their funds here to buy property or send their funds out when property is sold. At the same time, I'm trying to digitize as much as possible the real estate transaction process, which is part of Sheikh Hamdan's real estate strategy for 2033, is to be fully digital, fully cashless, get rid of manager checks and all of that fragmented process in between. This is what we've been able to accomplish at RealTrust thus far. So we have digital escrow accounts that we create in the client's names. We manage the entire transaction process from all the legalities, dealing with the developers, if there's mortgages involved, dealing with the banks, dealing with the real estate agents, and managing it as seamless and painless as possible for that foreign investor, because they're already seeing a lot of fragmentation in the real estate process in their journey.
Okay, but now let's say I'm an investor from Germany.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a bank account in Dubai. I want to purchase a secondary market property. So it means you are dealing as an escrow. I can transfer my funds via bank account to you. You are securing my funds and putting the manager check for me.
No manager check. Remember, digital, cashless, according to the real estate strategy of Sheikh Hamdan. So this is part of the initiative that we've been working on ever since day one at RealTrust. So we don't deal with manager check. So how it works is your client so you as the agent, you would contact us. So 70% of our clients come from real estate brokers as yourself. And we will start the onboarding process for your buyer. We will create the escrow account in their name. So think about a bank account in their name that they don't have access to other than online access to see their funds there. We, as the escrowee holder, we are a neutral third party and we follow escrow instructions. So we put together an escrow agreement between the buyer, the seller, and ourselves. And basically that agreement goes over all the amount that's coming into escrow and how it's going to get dispersed. Those are our instructions as we're holding the funds in escrow. Then in between, we do the entire transaction management, also known as conveyancing here. And then when it comes time to transfer of the title deed, once the title deed is transferred into the buyer's name, we release all the funds to all the parties. So it will be to the seller, to the real estate brokers for their commissions. We pay Dubai Land Department all their fees on behalf of the buyer, and everything's done on day of transfer. No manager checks. So wire transfer, everything is done digitally via wire transfer. And how we structured it, which is done on purpose, it comes directly from the buyer to the seller. So it's a first-party transfer. Third-party fund transfers are against UAE central bank regulations. And it's been something, as of the beginning of this year, a very big problem because the central bank has really cracked down on those third-party entities that are accepting cash and producing manager checks, accepting cash and producing crypto, brokerages accepting client funds into their account and producing managers on their behalf. This is all against UAE central bank regulations. Accounts were getting frozen, funds were getting blocked, and manager checks were not being accepted at the bank. Very big problem as of the first of the year. Very good for us because we solved this problem for our clients. So as I said, the escrow account is created in the buyer's name and transferred directly from the buyer to the sellers.
And are you charging something for that?
Yes. So there is a fee for escrow. We also have an escrow transaction fee. Depends on the size of the transaction, depends on the currency, because our escrow platform is also a foreign exchange platform. So we save your clients, for example, your client from Germany transferring euro, we save them anywhere between 1.5% to 2% on their transfer compared to any banks here in the UAE, which is also a benefit for your client. Everything is FCA licensed and regulated, and we also do crypto. So we can accept USDT, transfer to USDT, holding escrow. So with that whole process that I just described, which gives security and comfort to both the buyer and the seller. Or we can take USDT and convert to other major currencies like dirhams, dollar, euro, pounds, and then transfer it out to the seller at the time of transfer of title deed.
Amazing. Is there any sources about that? Because you are totally right. I think a lot of brokerage owners and as well realtors don't understand really the law. Cash are coming here, cash got paid direct to the developer, cash is coming into the accounts of the real estate company, checks got made as a third party agreement. But why? Because a lot of developers are still saying, yes, cash are allowed, cash get accepted, third-party agreement 4 can be signed. I saw the AML came in, the anti-money laundering, all the brokers got briefed, all the owners got briefed. But if I was telling them questions, because for sure I come from Germany, I am in the most highest tax country and we grow up with taxes. And when I asked them questions, I said, okay, but how it looks like this, how it looks like this. Still, I saw it's very new, and still the guys who's training for anti-money laundering don't really know what's going on. So where are the sources? I guess it would be very important to have sources out of it for the owners and the realtors to understand what is green flag, what is red flag, and as well for the investors to protect their money. How can I transfer my funds? What is legal and what is allowed and what is a red flag?
So a lot of what we do is education. A lot. Both education to consumers as well as to B2B. On Instagram, I started to do videos of actual cases so that people understand what it is that we do. We're the only ones doing what we do here in the UAE.
It's insane.
And when the UAE Central Bank decided to enforce their regulations, they didn't change anything the first of this year. They're just enforcing it in the real estate sector. A lot of people were shocked and they didn't know what was happening, and people were calling us in panic. And it's the information is there. It's just, do you know where to find it? And are you very well informed or educated as, for example, a broker? Our in-house legal, she's our director of operations and legal. She does the AML courses for Dubai and Abu Dhabi. She does the broker courses and the broker legal courses for Dubai and Abu Dhabi. She's very active on social media, on LinkedIn and Instagram, constantly trying to educate as well. But if you don't go to the courses, you don't read the new regulations, you don't read the UAE Central Bank regulations when it comes to fund transfers, and you're doing fund transfers, it also falls on the party as well to be informed on the services that they're offering. I can't tell you how many brokerages have come to us in the last 6 months, even before the beginning of this year, where they were starting to get worried about accepting client funds and producing manager checks because the banks were starting to ask questions. And they didn't want to, have at risk their accounts being frozen because it's their brokerage account, it's their corporate account. They pay salaries from there. They pay a lot of things from there. Yeah. So it's just, as a broker, it's very important to know that third-party fund transfers are not allowed here in the UAE. So if you know someone that takes a wire transfer or takes a bag of cash and converts it to a manager check, they're not licensed to do this. If you know someone that's doing it for crypto, they're not licensed to do this. So the crypto regulations are very tight here. We use a VAR regulated platform, and everything we do is based on the licensing and the regulations that we have to adhere to. Same thing with our traditional escrow account, FCA licensed and regulated. We have to do KYC, AML. We have to check out all the clients before we onboard them. When it comes to crypto, we have to check the wallets. And there's other compliance that we have to adhere to. The beauty about our business is that we are in the real estate space. So we always have the documentation should the banks ever ask for it. We've never had an issue with any of our wire transfers or any of our transactions. However, we've had banks here in the UAE ask us, why is this funds going out or why are the funds coming in? And we just show them Form F, we show them the escrow agreement, and they're fine because it is a legal transaction. So we are getting in a day and age where regulation is tightening up, not just here in the UAE, but across the world. And you need to be very well informed, and the information's out there. You just need to find it and do the courses. I highly recommend the courses.
Absolutely.
It's so important, especially for agents, because we see agents on a daily basis do things that they absolutely should not do.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And we see it in the past. So I'm as well on it. How many brokerage companies, how you said, got money froze. There are CEOs not more in the country. They run out of the country. They got banned and blacked from to one of the biggest developers here in Dubai because there was too many cash deals, too many cash transfers, and it's good like that. So you have to clean the market because it was as well a bad reputation in the past about Dubai that all the money is coming cash in Dubai, and that's why it's a bubble, and that's why everyone is purchasing properties, and it was affecting a lot the country, the government, and it was affecting as well a lot of the real estate companies because you don't have good cards in the hand, and this is the right way in the right direction to clean the market one time, and cleaning as well the agents. We have a lot of agents here in the market.
Yes.
And I saw it a lot. The hoteliers become agents, restaurant managers become agents, influencers become agents.
Yeah.
Everybody become an agent. And I see that now the government saw it and say, hey, we have to block this, that an agent have to be an agent. I cannot jump from that work into a real estate company because it's affecting us. And this is, I think, what a lot of real estate agents are not watching it. As a realtor, you have a lot of responsibility and weight on your shoulders because you are the first person who you meet with an expat and who's giving all the savings in your hands, what you worked hard. And then you have to know where to invest the money and not just investing it because that developer is paying you the highest commission. So I guess we're on the right direction there. And the rulers here, they have the vision as well to be digital into prop. This would be now my next questions. We are now in the year 2025. We go more into prop and into tech. How do you see where Dubai can still improve, and where do you see Dubai in the next 5 years?
There's so much innovation still left in the prop tech industry here. I do see, so Dubai is very far advanced on the digitization efforts. And we were kind of forced more into it during COVID, even though we were already on that track for digitization or digital transformation. During COVID, we were very much propelled into it, and Dubai did an excellent job on taking that, running with it, and putting out all of these digital transformation initiatives. I see that continue to go very fast in the next 5 years. So digitizing a lot more of the processes that are very manual today. So for example, the real estate transaction process, getting rid of the manager checks, digitizing more the mortgage process. So as you know, when you're dealing with a mortgage in a real estate transaction, it's very manual. It is, if you try to sit down and explain it to someone, they don't quite wrap their head around it, that someone has to walk around with the stamp and the papers and sign, and in person you have. I do hope at least that starts to get a little bit more digitized, and it should definitely be on the radar of everyone, both from the mortgage, the banks, UAE Central Bank, as well as Dubai Land Department, to push forward those type of initiatives. I do see the CRM space it needs disruption desperately. I feel like we've been stuck in the same CRM space since I arrived here 20 years ago. And I'm sorry, but the agents and the salespeople are not going to sit in front of a computer and type things in it's not going to happen. So that needs to be disrupted, and it needs to go in a completely different direction than what we are in today. And there are a few players in the market who are trying to do that. Dubai, going back to what you were saying earlier, and this plays into my answer now, Dubai prides itself on its safety and security. And here in Dubai, we do an amazing branding exercise to the rest of the world. Dubai is very careful to make sure that people who invest here, foreign direct investment particularly, are secured, they're safe, their investments are safe, that the proper laws and regulations are in place to protect them. So all of this of what you were saying earlier of the scams and, for example, the fake manager checks, a lot that we've been seeing in the last 6 months, third-party fund transfers, brokers, fly-by-night brokers, as I call them, all of this will get weeded out as well in the next 5 years. Because Dubai will not jeopardize those foreign investments coming in, and it will make sure that the foreign investments in Dubai are safe and secure. So yeah, that's my answer for that.
I totally agree with it, and with the CRM system as well. So I get it every time more used to. If the agent is coming or new agents are coming as well from very well known realtor companies, they're shocked. They say, how you have such a system, because everyone is just sharing the brochures of the developers.
Everything's WhatsApp.
Yes, pictures, and then you get these dark pictures as well, made by night. Sometimes I hear from clients, they say, Mary, you cannot believe I was watching a property and the realtor told me, go to the security, there's the keys, go to the 8th floor, 05 layout, so 805, check the property, it's cost 4 million dirham. If you like it, let me know, we can buy it. So it's a very, very bad philosophy. And if they're coming and they see, and that's why tech, it's nice, I say no. But us, it's not called database callings. But us, if we generate the leads, automatically a search profile got created. Through the search profile, what get created through all our live listings, what we have live, it will recognize which properties are fitting to the search profile. The brochure gets sent automatically to the client. If the client is opening the brochure, you get straight away a message because you are the assigned broker that he's opening now the brochure, and now you can call him because it's the right time. You have time, he opened the brochure. They are in shock. They say, how? I say, yeah, but it's important because maybe if you are a beginner and you have just one client, two clients, you can remind everything, but you need a good CRM to understand what was the past talks, what was the emails, which property he inquired. So how you want to be a good broker if you don't have a good CRM system?
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of room for disruption in the prop tech space still here in Dubai today.
Yeah.
And not just Dubai, Ras Al Khaimah and Abu Dhabi. You go there and you try to do anything, property transactions, 30 years behind.
Yes, that's true. How do you see tokenization? I'm so much interested in this. And to be honest, as well, I inquired one time to get the license, and it's very expensive. But where do you see tokenization in the Dubai real estate market? Do you see their bright future, good future? Because I see a little bit, I like tokenization as well for people who don't have the funds to own a property 100% in full. But I guess the crypto came with the hype, and I saw many investors got scared because they combined the tokenization and connected with the crypto market. Say, yeah, but you crypto. Say, yeah, but you cannot compare meme coins and such trading stuff with tokenization. What are your experience about it?
So people don't understand tokenization, number one. How I see tokenization today is for debt structuring or for financing a project, a developer financing their project. That's very doable. If you want to tokenize, let's say, this building and sell it, first and foremost, there's a lot of work that needs to be done because the title deed needs to be put on the blockchain. Yeah. So there's a lot of work just to get the title deed on the blockchain in any environment, in any city in the world. Tokenization of a property, there are use cases, there have been case studies, but there hasn't been successful launches that have continued in the tokenization space in real estate anywhere in the world. So this is a very new space, and there's reasons why. Like I said, today, we can do it for structuring debt, for financing a project if a developer chooses. That is very feasible. And this is something that I'm on a committee on for one of the governments here in the UAE. And it's something that's very doable, very feasible, very realistic. If you want to tokenize a building, there's a lot of work that needs to happen in advance, which is why the tokenization project is in the sandbox, because it needs to go through a lot of reiterations, it needs to go through a lot of testing, it needs to go through a lot of proof of concepts in order to see if it actually can be done. There's a lot of factors in place with the fact that you need to establish a cryptocurrency on the blockchain for the tokenization of a project. And then you need to, in my opinion, you absolutely need to have a ceiling and a floor for this currency, which goes against the whole trading of cryptocurrency. Yes. So for me right there, that's my no-go point. If you cannot do that, then the project for me is not feasible.
Yeah, totally agree, because they announced it. If I'm not misunderstood 3 months ago, I cannot say which type of, was it Dubai Land Department? I'm not pretty sure. I don't want to see any mistake, but they said first tokenization will come onto the market. I said, whoa, interesting. let's see how it goes and where it will go.
Yeah, what I would say is for people who are really interested in this topic, look at the proof of concepts that have been done around the world. Read the case studies, read where they fell into problems, where they were stopped, usually regulation, where they were not able, the hurdles that they were not able to pass through, and the success of the project at the end.
That's true. Absolutely right.
That's what I would say.
Coming back to my last question.
Sure.
How was the journey as a womanpreneur? So because sometimes I get questions, they think still Dubai is 30 years back. Let's talk about Dubai 2010, the women's and all the stuff. And how is it hard? I don't think that as a woman I can open my own business and company. I say, I guess you never was in Dubai. Come one time, 1 week, see Dubai, and you see we are much more open than some European countries. So maybe you can explain a little bit the listeners how your journey was. Did you find difficulties as a woman and being so successful in the Dubai market?
Oh, wow, that's a lot to answer. So I guess I'll start in the States so that I can compare it to Dubai. So in the States, I was in the technology sector. I started at the dot-com boom in the 90s. Very male dominated. I was always the only woman on the project. And at this point, I was working for Microsoft and then Sun Microsystems. I faced a lot of resistance from my male colleagues. And I always had to prove that I knew what I was doing. I was technically sound and that I was competent to be on the team. And it was always, and I was also very young. So it was always a struggle. When I moved here to Dubai, not once have I ever felt any discrimination for being a woman in anything that I've done here. If anything, I felt people were curious. You have to be confident. Yes. So number one, and regardless if you're a male or female, you have to be confident in what you're doing and know your subject matter very, very well in what you're trying to succeed in. Here I found as a woman, and I know many women here today who are successful pioneers, successful founders, company owners, and they own their space and everyone knows who they are and they are very well respected. So not once did I ever feel that here. If anything, I felt the support. I felt because of the curiosity of like, who is this person with so much confidence and so much knowledge on, whatever that they're talking on about, that they would want to be a part of it. Yeah. And this comes from various different sectors, personalities, whether it's an individual or company. So no, I never once felt the discrimination here. And for me, Dubai, I absolutely love the fact that just in general, there isn't discrimination or racism per se as we might face in our home countries.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Perfect. It was a very, very interesting podcast. Thank you so much again for having you here.
Thank
I
you
guess
so much
the
for having
audience
me.
could get a lot of good insights.
Hopefully it was educational.
Exactly. And now we have to stop, so I have a few private questions.
Okay, sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.